Hey guys, J-Games here again. This is going to be what if Luffy was Lunarian. Now, if you guys don't know what a Lunarian is, this is what King's race is. If you guys don't know who King is, either catch up on the One Piece anime or read the manga. One of the two, you'll be told what a Lunarian is. At least not in the anime just yet, but pretty soon in the anime. But in the manga, you'll get told what they are and how some of their abilities work. Also, I keep forgetting if King can fly or not with his wings on his back, other than turning into a giant pterodactyl or something. Whatever the hell King turns into, I don't know. All I know is it's a giant dinosaur with a beak and wings. But yeah, for Christ's sake, we will say that Luffy can fly with those wings. But Luffy in this one more or less would still get to go no Mi. But due to Luffy more or less being half Lunarian, well, Dragon for the first half of Luffy's life was being way more involved. Like he didn't meet He didn't meet Garp till he was around 4 years old. Maybe even around 5, I'll stretch it that much. He didn't meet Garp till he was around 5 years old. He spent the first 5 years of his life with Dragon, Ivan, Inazuma, Hack, those guys. So, well, more or less, due to him just being a Lunarian, being abnormally physically fit for a 5-year-old. Before he met Garp, he was learning new Kama Kenpo, learning types of devil fruit to avoid. Like, mainly devil fruits that those fucking regular Lunarian, like, I'm pretty sure Kategori Devil Fruit may be able to put out fire if King were to fire it at him. Like, if they're doing Isaki, the Mochi Mochi no Mi awakened most definitely will put out the fire King will shoot at him. Most definitely. Like avoid Kategori if you don't know how to use hockey. Like just Devil Fruit types, like zones, Paramecias, special Paramecias, mythical, ancient zones, Logias. Then we have what the hell Blackbeard is. He doesn't know who Blackbeard is yet, but he won't know for another decade or so. Yeah, just a lot of basic stuff that Luffy should avoid if he were to encounter in a fight. Because either he'd win too easily and it'd be weird if he doesn't get a Devil Fruit, or to avoid in case it will put out fire too easily. But Luffy's basically learning how to use like new Kama Kenpo, because that's all Ivan can teach Luffy. And then, yeah. Plus, Luffy's a damn firebender and he can use fire style jutsu. So, you can weird for him there. When it's Garp is a little shocked that Luffy's a Lunarian, and for Christ's sake, we can say that Dragon had banged some random Lunarian, that the Lunarian died. Either from sickness or Dragon D, one of the two. But Luffy meets Garp, then eventually is raised in village. But Garp actually does request the whole village that they do not reveal what a Lunarian is. Well, they don't know what it is. But as request they don't reveal what Luffy, like the physical features of Luffy. Don't reveal them to anyone. And if like a random passerby comes by, put a giant coat over him so his wings are not revealed. Please do it. And Luffy knows he has to do it, but if he forgets, then someone has to do it for him. Garp does reveal to the whole village. If you turn in Luffy to the Marines, they will harm a child. And most definitely. Most definitely. That's why he's not going to make Luffy a Marine at all. He does not want to. He wants Luffy to live a private and very secretive life. Luffy wants to be out in the world though. He wants to be. So yeah. If Luffy's really Garp's grandson in this one, Luffy can just basically, or Garp can just say that Luffy didn't know that Luffy was Lunarian. He basically developed all of his abilities while Garp was away from him. Or just blame Luffy for being raised by Dragon, one of the two, but yeah. But Luffy eventually does meet Shanks, and Shanks is actually very comfortable with Luffy because he even can tell that Luffy's has a giant coat on and the coat's moving a bit. So Shanks eventually tore it off. No, it really doesn't. Luffy Lunarian. He mentions King to Luffy. He's like, "Oh, I gotta meet this guy one day. It'll be impressive or cool, whatever the two, one of the two." Also, Shanks actually wants to see if Luffy has that insane human strength or Lunarian strength, and Luffy does. So yeah. And he comes in the bar. Well, he starts slamming the sword down on the table. Luffy just puts his hand up, which actually can turn Maki, but Shanks just laughs as the sword just breaks on Luffy's arm. Luffy's extremely durable as well. Extremely durable. So the blade just shatters on Luffy's hand. And, yeah. It's not hockey, just Luffy's skin is very tough. Unusually tough. But eventually Luffy would more or less just punch Higuma right in the gut, making Higuma throw up and just pass out. And Luffy's 7 years old at this point. Pause real quick. So, Luffy does eventually just still get the shot from Shanks, and he still does eat the Gomu no Mi. I have fun plans for it, so I'm giving him the Gomu no Mi. Also, one more thing, I forgot to say this in the beginning. If you do not know, this is a redo. Just in case you do not know, it's a redo. unlike the way I did the first time. And this video will probably be long as all hell. Because I may just want to get through this to a decent amount, at least the time skip. At least. Unless I have to go. But back to this. So Luffy gets thrown out so he can still get the Gomu no Mi. Spends 2 months training, spends 2 months in the forest training. And there's a technique he'd develop basically fucking Red Hawk. That's his technique. He develops Fire Fist, still a technique. Like, basically every single technique you see Ace being able to do, Luffy most likely can develop the same technique. So yeah. And we'll say we can give Luffy a decent amount of Ace's technique, like the Firefly technique, the Firefly technique, Fire Fist. Then we have Luffy's technique, which is the Red Hawk, and then that's about it. Well, I guess and Gomu no Pistol. This one he more or less heats up his fist, so he just calls it Burning Pistol, or Gomu no Burning Pistol. That's kind of what he calls it, or Gomu no Heated Pistol. Once with this, Garp would bring Luffy to meet Ace and Sabo. Ace and Luffy's able to set to the side, and Luffy just challenged Ace to a fight. Luffy has a love for fighting currently, because, he had really nothing else to do when he was dragging but to fight other recruits. Like, he beat the hell out of adults as a hobby. That is a hobby he has. So, he challenged Ace to a fight, and Ace said sure, why not, thinking Luffy's just some random 7-year-old, but Luffy instead kicks the absolute hell out of Ace, sending Ace flying through a tree. And not on top of that Luffy just kicked Ace through a tree. She means that's Garp, what monster he dropped off with her. Garp had to bring everyone inside and tell them about what a Lunarian is. And they all heard that Luffy is basically part of a race with only two known people left. Basically, keep Luffy away from certain things, like water. He's a Delver user. Keep him away from the ocean as much as possible. He'll drown. He cannot swim. That's about it. The ocean. And also, if Luffy doesn't, Luffy stops emitting flames, for some reason, he can't emit any more flames, or just stops moving. If he moves really fast, don't hit him too hard, because that may kill him. Just make sure if he moves extra fast, don't touch him, and keep him away from water, because those are the only 2 things that'll kill him. If he moves too fast, you can hit him too hard, and that may kill him. He's very, very sensitive when he moves too fast. So, yeah. And Luffy just says that he can keep watching of his own, so, yeah. But eventually Luffy would more or less be, first off, Ace thinks Luffy's really cool and introduce him to Sabo. Sabo tries to hit Luffy in the face as Ace would say Luffy's indestructible. As Ace would watch Sabo hit Luffy in the face with a pipe, the pipe bends around Luffy's face. Luffy pulls the pipe away and then begins beating the absolute hell out of Sabo, to the point where Sabo's trying to run away, but Luffy just pulls him back by his coat. Eventually Sabo will submit. We see the Bluejam crew come up to Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. And they see Luffy beating the absolute hell out of Sabo. Sabo just covered in bruises and crying. This Bluejam actually asks Luffy, oh, you're able to beat these 2. How about this? I pay you this much money, and then you can kill them. Because they seem to be annoying. Immediately, Luffy actually asks Ace, want to see something cool? He said, sure. Luffy jumped in the air, and then he would yell, Gomu no Red Hawk. This Luffy's arm ignited in flames, as the whole Great Terminal would see it. Well, not the whole Great Terminal, more or less where they are, but Luffy didn't jump too high in the air. He does know how to live secretly. But everyone saw a giant burst of flames, and then they see Bluejam's crew just... That same comic gag that you see a lot. All that's left are boots. Luffy landed, and Luffy basically incinerated the whole Bluejam crew. Not the whole crew, most of it, including Korchemi. Which did clear a few things. Pause real quick. Alright, so Bluejam's crew is dead, and there's not much left to do. So Luffy and Ace, more or less, Luffy and Ace will live a pretty peaceful life in the Great Terminal for the next few months. Until the Great Terminal fire, which not much happened. The Great Terminal fire happens with tons of guards, but the thing is, Luffy does know Sabo's parents are probably behind this, because, all the old Bluejam's crew are replaced by guards when they want to take Sabo back. But immediately as Great Terminal fire had started, Luffy immediately would run to the door with Ace following him. Luffy would throw Ace right in the air, as Ace then kicks the door or the gate as hard as he can, as there'd be a big crack in it now. That Luffy just jumps in the air, using his wings for the first time, properly, would just fly right at it, and then basically just punch it down completely. Well, not punch it down, probably punch it to pieces. But eventually Luffy would more or less, I'd say, him and Ace just basically run through the Great Terminal, trying to find Sabo's house. Guards try to stop them, but Luffy just jumps in the air, doing rapid punches, punching the guards out immediately with one go. In power, I actually compared this Luffy probably to around, like, I'd probably compare him to, like, Loguetown Luffy in power. This Luffy has so much physical strength and so much training for the last 6 months. He developed all kinds of abilities, maybe even Gear Second if I feel like it. But eventually Luffy would more or less just, well, first off, he took a guard's mask and put it on, and then Ace did the same thing as he dropped his pipe as well, picking up a sword, and they flew through the Great Terminal. Eventually, Luffy had found Sabo's house by seeing Sabo's father walking inside, and immediately Luffy just flew on down with Ace on top of him, and he basically kicked down Sabo's door, or wall. Well, not door, he wouldn't go for the door. He tried to fly through the window, but more like kick down the wall. Sabo had seen Ace on Luffy's back. Well, he knew it was Ace just through the shirt. That Luffy grabbed Sabo and flew off again. But the thing is, the masks were so big on these 3-foot-something 7 and 10-year-olds that people kind of thought it was a monster. And more or less, the nobles and other people thought they awakened some sort of ancient demon lying in the Great Terminal, that they did not mess with it ever again. Dragon saw Luffy do that and was actually very proud of him. Dragon and Luffy actually talk after this, because Dragon had talked to Luffy saying, just be careful about flying every once in a while, because if he flies around too much, people realize it's not a demon, it is just some random 7-year-old. Luffy agrees with this. Also, Dragon actually questioned the devil fruit thing, because he saw Luffy just jump in the air and then swing his arm back and then punch the gate as hard as possible. Luffy just says, he met a pirate and the pirate didn't guard his fruit close enough, so Luffy ate it. Dragon decides, so another easy reason for you to avoid water, because you can't ignite fire in water, and now you permanently cannot swim. So, yeah. Luffy just says that his wings can probably flap enough to keep him afloat for a few minutes, which Dragon does admit, probably. So, of this, we fast forward a few years to the point where Ace is 17, Sabo lives out there with them, and also people kind of think that the demon took Sabo away and ate him, so no one believes he's alive at least, or at least the people of the Go Kingdom don't believe him. They don't believe he's alive currently. But Sabo's parents don't really care. They don't believe it. Like, still he doesn't care either. Until like a month later, Sabo and Luffy and Ace began breaking into random buildings in the Go Kingdom, taking books and money and stuff. So they know he's alive. So they know that he's alive right now. His brother basically rained all hell upon, or his quote unquote brother rained hell all over the Go Kingdom for a split minute. So. It's a split 10 minutes. But they eventually would just basically leave Sabo alone. And when Luffy does, she does, like, talking to Dragon. Him and Sabo actually share similar ideals, and Dragon does admit this, and Sabo does actually share similar ideals. Sabo's goal is basically become a revolutionary, and Dragon gives Sabo a Vivier card, similar to Luffy and Ace. He doesn't really know Ace too well, but this isn't just because he's basically a quote-unquote brother of Luffy. Dragon's willing to help him out. So, yeah, just Dragon willing to help out Ace anytime he needs help. Then they get a buttload of Viva cards from Inazuma, Ivan, Hack. You have to keep very close watch on these, and Luffy puts them all in the band of his Straw Hat. So, yeah. But we go to Ace and Sabo are 17. Sabo's using Dragon Viva card to go meet him. Ace is just basically sailing around. And, yeah. Yes, Ace had some adventures in canon. It's just... he's a lot stronger, and when he gets the Mera no Mi, he just copies a lot of Luffy's abilities. Like, he's seen Luffy do all this stuff, like he jumps in the air yelling, Red Hawk, and just basically shoots out a ball of flames that can transform into a hawk, or give the image of a hawk. Like, he has like a Firebird star kind of thing, effect with going on with his attacks, and then would just yell, like, Fire Fist, that's Luffy's ability now. Or the, whatever kind of fire, I don't want to say St. Elmo's fire, I think that might trigger someone, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure St. Elmo's fire. Whatever. But we can go on to when Luffy would leave. When he leaves, well, the moment the Sea King attacks him, he turns it and he grills that thing. Like, he gave food to Fuchsia Village for at least a month. So, yeah. Even if they want to sell some of it, they have food for at least 3 weeks. But eventually Luffy just keeps sailing around. And eventually when he kind of push in like the whirlpool, he just flies off. Like, at this point, it doesn't go by Monkey D. Luffy, knowing it would endanger his family, or at least Garp. It would endanger Garp's career, not Garp as a person. If it endangered Garp as a person, you are beyond Yonko, you are beyond Roger. But, it wouldn't endanger Garp as a person, it endangers his career. But, Luffy eventually just flies away from his boat and keeps flying. But eventually, Luffy basically do like this diving spin on a ship that's about to, like, he basically was over just like be able to like fly nearby them. Like he's flying below them. It was nighttime. No one was looking over. So usually like they didn't really. Luffy overheard their conversation about robbing a civilian boat. Luffy has morals. He has morals. Basically, with this, he just basically flies right through the boat, making it sink or begin sinking. Eventually, we basically just see like all pirates flooding, like running to the top. And you see like one of the guys basically kick Koby like almost right off the boat, saying move, like move out of the way you runt. Luffy immediately flew down, grabbing Koby, and flew right off. Before he's hiding from the edge, just launched down a giant fire fist, killing all the pirates. Luffy has no holds barred in killing. He has no holds barred in killing bad people. Like if he's killing just like a random pirate that he doesn't know much about, then he won't kill them. But these are obviously like basic pirates. But Alvida just basically escaped off the boat by just falling over the edge when she got caught on fire. He doesn't know, but she did. They're going to see Luffy fly away with Koby, and eventually they kind of come across the civilian boat, but they're hiding up in the sky to the point where no one really cares what's up there. And while Koby isn't really complaining, he decently knows enough about Luffy. Eventually they come across Shelltown, and they basically just land somewhere along the rocks, and they eventually would walk up to the what was it? They walk up the I guess they walk up the dock. No one really questions how they got there. They don't see a boat, but they don't care. So, this they hear about Zoro still. And Koby's the one who told Luffy to come here, by the way. And Luffy does reveal to Koby he's a pirate. It's just his boat got caught in a whirlpool and destroyed. As they kind of wander around, eventually they hear about Zoro, and Luffy would walk on to like the more or less marine base to go free Zoro. And Zoro would notice that Luffy walked up to him, and Luffy's like big. At least for a 17-year-old. Or at least big for someone in the One Piece verse that seems like an average person. He's big for a straw hat. He's like, I'd put him in like Robin type, like 6'3". He's bigger than Zoro and Sanji. And he's bigger than Ace and Sabo as well. But eventually, like, he's able to like somewhat basically burn off Zoro's restraints immediately. They catch flames and just will go around Zoro's arm. Gives like a slight sting, and that's about it. That Zoro's free. And as about to leave, well, Helmpo would immediately walk up in there with guns drawn and just fire upon Luffy. Luffy just basically holds out his arm as fire shoots right from it, burning all the bullets. Like he's like amping up the heat insanely to the point where the bullets are just like they cannot go through these intense heat, but it does actually drain Luffy's energy a significant amount. Like he could let them hit his body, but he doesn't really care. The fire was more or less meant for the Marines. It burns Helmpo's face a bit, but he just falls back, crawling away. Other Marines are basically on fire and they run towards the water immediately and they just jump in. So, yeah. And, well, Luffy does not say his name is Monkey D. Luffy just says his name is Luffy and he wants Zoro and his crew. Zoro basically seeing some kid with wings and burn, like shoot fire out of nowhere. But he doesn't care. He's just joining this guy. Even if we say no and fight Luffy, he has fire. It's obviously very hot. Like, he does almost a chance of his sword somewhat being melted, especially Kuina's blade. Pause real quick. Alright, so we go on to more or less see Luffy, who would more or less just walk in the building with Zoro. And Zoro basically says, like one sword style against one guy, just slams his head against the wall, saying, one sword style, collision. And this is what he just does. Luffy just says, you can also just call it like a backwards punch if you want to. But sure, whatever you want to do. Luffy walks up the stairs, kicking everyone out of the way, like through the whole building, through the wall. So he gets to the roof where Morgan is, and we see Koby watching as Marines fly through the building. This is Morgan. Morgan has some axe out on Luffy before Zoro can block the attack with the swords. Luffy just holds up his hand as the axe is stopped with one finger. Then everyone sees a giant crack go right through the axe. That Luffy points his one finger at Morgan, and a beam of fire should start through Morgan's chest. Morgan fall over, coughing up blood, but Luffy kicks him right off the roof. And he looks at the rest of the Marines, telling them to leave. They run right down the stairs, like past Zoro, past everything, just going down the stairs. Luffy would pick up the statue and throw it right to the center of the town. And everyone sees the statue hit the ground. They must see Luffy waving at them from the top of the Marine base. Then they grab back and stuff and being basically beating the statue. Morgan would stand up, crawling towards them, saying, "Stop hitting my statue." But we want to see one of the villagers kind of slam his head with like a stick, almost knocking him out. But yeah, with that, Morgan just dies because of a hole through his chest. Luffy then picks up Zoro, jumping down, landing on the ground. And with that, well, him and Zoro being leaving. Luffy asks Koby for return him, but Koby insists on being a Marine. So, yeah. Zoro just questions where their boat is. Luffy asks him like, when the Marines where a boat is, and then basically gives Luffy some random dinghy. That's enough to fit 4 people. So they get on the dinghy, and they sail away. And Zoro he's like, this boat's okay, I guess. Luffy then explains to Zoro what Lunarian is, and Zoro's like, okay, cool. So you're basically some black winged guy that can fly. And he's like, yup. Now this week we keep going on to when they meet Nami, I guess. When they meet Nami, it is in Orange Town. This time they more or less arrive there because Luffy she flew after a bird, and then when they catch the bird, they realize they're above the town. They left their dinghy out at sea. Luffy actually just like basically throws Zoro back down to the boat, saying, "Sail it here. He'll get the bird." So I was like, "All right, cool." Zoro lands on the boat, and then with that, he keeps sailing. But before there's like just some random pirate ship or pirate boat sailing nearby, and he fires down a ball of fire, and it kills them. But yeah. But pause real quick. All right, so we can go on. We can go on to. I'd say, so I guess we can go on to probably just, it's on Orange Town. When Nami comes across the 2 pirates, the attacker, she's Luffy walking by, comes behind him saying, "He's my captain." They even swing down swords on Luffy, but they shatter on impact, which actually amazes Nami. Like, they shattered on impact on his skin. But as the guys being falling as they're in midair, kind of like, they're like inch off the ground. Luffy grabs their heads, slamming them together, knocking them both out. So yeah. So with these 2 being knocked out, Luffy more or less being walking over to Nami, asking why she tried to put the blame on him. And she more or less would say that she thought he would, she thought he was some normal guy that could just randomly die. She throws Nami alive, and with that she then says, "No, please help me and defeat the pirates here." Luffy then actually asks if that giant boat is theirs, and she says, "Yeah." Luffy immediately says, "Alright then, how about this?" They go to the boat, and Luffy holds off most of the pirates. Or just defeats. Actually, first he'll defeat them all, but he has to watch. If he sees her leave, roast her alive. And he then says that since he's doing this for her, just to repaint the boat. He doesn't want to, and he asks for money, but he says, "How about this? In exchange for letting you live, you paint the boat. How about that?" And she agrees with that, so she can't really disagree with her life. Luffy eventually just flies right through the building that Buggy was on, and the building begins crumbling. And then as they're in the air, well, we basically see Luffy just fly and just like slam his elbow right into Buggy's back. Basically, just elbow drops Buggy from like 1,000 feet in the air, which knocks him out. Not 1,000, I'd say like 200 feet in the air, but still. If Buggy wasn't a One Piece character, his spine would be shattered. It probably still would be, as he's just some normal dude with knives and devil fruit, but yeah. So Luffy's basically Buggy's kind of on the ground unconscious. You see the rest of his crew attack Luffy, and they're all just basically thrown and kicked around. So with that, yeah, eventually Kabaji and Moji arrive. But as Kabaji arrives, Press starts to fight, right? So tries to just slam and attack on Luffy's head. But instead we basically see Zoro just yell at Onigiri, not cutting one of the brothers, he almost cuts Kabaji in half. Then we go on to see I guess Moji just attack Luffy. But obviously how strong Luffy truly is, actually he deems him stronger than Arlong, saying that Arlong probably could not have taken on Buggy's whole crew by himself. He probably could have, but I don't really care. But with this, we more or less just see Nami jump and hit hit Moji right in the face with her staff, then Richie just basically pimp slapped halfway across Orange Town. The villagers come and see that why the building had collapsed. They mostly see straws standing over Buggy's defeated crew. That Luffy could tell Buggy's an overuser because he tried to throw his hand at Luffy. Luffy just caught it and broke it. Now with that, he more and more asked them for a small dinghy. They give him a small dinghy. With that, he basically throws all the crew onto a boat, tying him up. Zoro tying him up mainly, and then he kicked the boat out to sea. Now with this, we already see Nami go onto the dock and begin repainting the boat, or at least Buggy's ship. And Nami actually asks what they should do with all the money. Luffy says, give half of it to the town. And they do just that. So we should go on to see that being made. So yeah. The villagers as like payment, basically just like, well, like just for payment for helping the Straw Hats, more or less. For the Straw Hats helping them defeat Buggy and get them off, and also with them off the island. Not that kind of get off, but also, well, they're gonna help also just getting Buggy away from them and saving them eternally. So yeah, we more or less just see them like help repaint the boat. In around 30-40 minutes, the whole town had finished painting the boat, plus Nami. We enjoyed more than to watch as they clean up the rubble from the destroyed building. So, yeah. It only took them a few minutes, and they can carry everything really a lot. They can carry a lot. Wait, pause. So we go on to see basically the Straw Hats go on. Just Luffy, Nami, and Zoro. The boat's repainted, everything that would be from Buggy. Well, if it's valuable, they sell it, but, yeah. If it's valuable, they sell it, but some of those don't really want the stuff, some they more or less just tie it up in a bag and throw it in the bottom of the ocean, which is not healthy. I don't recommend doing that. So, like, if they don't, nothing's valuable or they don't want it, they actually try to sell it or throw it away, and Luffy just can basically just incinerate it. So yeah, now they sail away. The ship was actually repainted red from the original Buggy color, and on one side there's this giant straw hat painted. So yeah, can find something real quick. Long story short, the big top may be as big as a Thousand Sunny, maybe a bit smaller, but still it's a huge ship, being able to fit most of Buggy's crew, which consists of like I'd say double the Straw Hat crew, maybe even triple the Straw Hat crew. So more than enough room for 20-30 people. So they got a big enough ship. So with that, we more or less go on to see the Straw Hats, just, well, Luffy and Zoro and Nami. They go along, and eventually they go to Sword Village. And they arrive there, well, they don't have a Jolly Roger, they have like a basic ship flag, like a basic flag, because none of them can draw, they're not good at anything. Well, Luffy's good at fighting, Zoro's good at fighting, Nami's good at making maps. And each time tries to basically make them give them money to her so she does something. Luffy says, how about this? In exchange for your life, you do this. So, yeah, or about this. I spare your life and you do that. So, yeah. Luffy has threatened to burn her alive a number of times. Just wait till Sanji hears it and then tries to fight Luffy and then see what Luffy does to him. Luffy can just perform Diablo Jambe if Sanji will teach him Blackleg style. He can perform Diablo Jambe anytime. But we go on to see Luffy basically, or first off, Usopp be amazed at the giant ship in front of him. And with that, we can basically see Luffy, who would end up more or less like not being scared by 1,000 men, saying he can burn them all alive at once as he lights his hand on fire. And Usopp just reveals it's only 4 of them, being the 3 kids and then him. But with this, we can go on to see Luffy eventually go and first get the tours. I think everything just goes the same. This is going the same way. We can go on to see Luffy, who ends up saying that, what's this? So we can go on to see basically just Luffy, who get this. Everything happens the same way until him and Luffy, Usopp and Luffy spy on Kuro and everyone else. But with this, Luffy is not really, when he falls, just flies back up with his wings going, like, a giant gust of wind just hits them, and they don't see Luffy anywhere. He just flew so high up in the air. Now Luffy spies on them from above, but can't really hear them. But Usopp hears everything, then tells Luffy. So yeah. So with this, we can go on to see Luffy, who more or less ends up, I'd say, we can just see Luffy, who just ends up fighting Buggy's crew the moment they arrive. The moment they arrive, he's like dropping guys left and right, with Usopp just thanking Luffy. Like, Kuro's crew being defeated left and right, we can see Usopp just watching, and eventually just helping out Luffy. Eventually, Luffy is just seeing Kuro's crew's sheer number. Zoro took down the Mabin brothers, and he wasn't stabbed by Kabaji at all. He took them down while Kabaji was mainly off guard. He wasn't off guard, but he heard Zoro come in, or saw Zoro coming at him. He didn't have enough time to block, and he just got hit by the attack. So Zoro's not wounded at whatsoever. But then we basically Zoro just used Onigiri on one of them brothers and just fights the other one off by slashing his back wide open and almost killing him. But with most of the crew, like, just pretty decent size of the crew left. What Luffy does basically just basically hold like a Kamehameha, is what he's supposed to do, but then it just made a fire and hits everyone on the crew, on Kuro's crew with it. But we just saw Kuro, like, we still have a question where Kuro went, because Kuro went, like, appeared in front of Luffy, but then disappeared suddenly. But we just see Kuro just halfway across the island with his head buried in the dirt. We just uppercut the man the moment he got close to him. Like, Luffy has been so much combat just for fun that he basically see Kuro moving in slow motion the moment Kuro tried to use shave. Well, Kuro just got like uppercutted halfway across the island. Luffy eventually found Kuro and just threw him onto his boat, and then they punched a hole through it and kicked it out to sea. Or Luffy mainly threw it out to sea. He can probably throw a boat pretty easily with that Lunarian strength he has. So, yeah. But we can go on to Usopp joining the crew, and he's excited to join the crew. But the only to just draw a flag. I'm glad I didn't finish that sentence. If I finished the sentence, I'd be in trouble. The flag. I hate stuttering sometimes. That was gonna be a fucked up sentence. But Luffy eventually is able to get Usopp to draw the flag, and yeah. So Usopp draws the flag, and it's more or less too scared to make it his own flag. So he draws the flag, they set it up, and they leave. And Usopp is just amazed that they have a ship this big till Luffy reveals he stole it. So yeah. So as you guys may have noticed, this is not the Going Merry. Though we know Usopp versus Luffy, even if there was an Usopp versus Luffy, it ended in one shot. So just to say that out loud, but yeah, pause real quick. With this, Ross then headed to the Bratier. The moment they dock, they're kind of dwarfing a marine ship. They jump off of it, and as they jump off their boat, Luffy asks if they should raid the marine ship. Nami says she'll do it, and Usopp agrees to help her. So they jump on the boat and they begin walking around. Also, they have a few cannons on Luffy's ship, and also first Nami does say about the cannons. Luffy says he'll take those later. He'll handle them himself. But as they go inside, well, first off, everyone's just shocked to see the monster being Luffy. Just kind of walks in there. Like, Luffy is like buff, but yeah. Pause one more time. Okay, so we want to see Luffy, who just walks in there, which shocks everyone. So first off, his wings are gigantic. And we basically see Zoro comparing to a 6'3" Luffy. It's not that big, because Zoro's like, I believe currently he'd be like 5'9" or 5'10", because post-time he's 5'11" and a half, so I guess like 6 foot basically. But we go on to see more or less just Luffy being huge. The thing is that Luffy's like I believe 2 years younger than Zoro, so kind of funny. But eventually everyone's shocked by Luffy as he just eats his food. And Sanji more asks Luffy to take those fake wings off, but Luffy just reveals that they are attached to his body. They are genetic wings. So the cooks don't believe Luffy, they begin to pull his wings off, but they realize that they're attached to his skin, which shocks them. And Luffy immediately says that they can fight if they want to, because Luffy's annoyed by those two. Or not those two, but those few cooks. When we go for a fight, Sanji will go kick Luffy, just like basically kick some respect into him. Luffy more or less just blocks the kick with like one finger. Luffy's extremely durable and powerful in his own right. Blocking a kick with one finger is something he can do, even if it's Sanji. So yeah. Also, Luffy at the age of 7 was already in the level of like Loguetown Luffy because of just how much power he held in just 2 months. But then there's 6 months training as they then went to like first to get Sabo back, and at that point, he was already probably like Alabasta Luffy. But currently, this Luffy might be around, I'd say, like, how do I say this? Like, I'd compare him to maybe Fishman Island Luffy in power. Like, he has, like, built-in armament hockey, just not as powerful. Like, he has, like, pseudo armament hockey, that's about it. But eventually we go on to see, like, first off, Sanji just be shocked that Luffy blocked his kick with one finger. Then Zeph joins in, and Luffy's still blocking their attacks with one finger. Eventually, Full Body will step in, wanting to attack Luffy, but he punches Luffy right in the ribs. And Luffy just elbows Full Body right on the neck, but like around on top of his head or on his forehead, and knocks Full Body out cold. So then Gin stumbles in begging for food, and Luffy just gives Gin his plate. Gin eats on it, thanks Luffy. Then eventually we just see Luffy, who just ends up staring at Sanji and Zeph, saying he'll fight them later, but but Gin needs more food. They bring, first off, Zoro brings Gin his food as well. And we see Nami, who'd seen Luffy just gives Gin their food, and they already had a lot of food on the ship due to Buggy and the villagers on Orangetown. Well, if they more or less like bring Gin a few random bits of food. And let a Full Body never look at aside seeing the gigantic pirate ship being the now Straw Hat ship. But it's not called the Big Top anymore. It's not. We basically we can call it like the Straw Hat Galore or Straw Hat Galley. So it's Straw Hat Galley. Now with this, we go on to more or less just see Luffy, who ends up like how do I say this? I guess Gin kind of actually everything can't play out the same way because I don't want to phrase it any more different. But everyone's kind of just still scared of Luffy because he beat the absolute hell out of Zeph and Sanji. Like he didn't do harm them anyway, but it was obviously he was stronger than them both. Eventually, Zeph, as he was walking away with Sanji, he then says that Luffy's someone who can survive in the Grand Line and someone who would make the Grand Line the pirate graveyard. He's someone who makes it the pirate graveyard. We shocked Sanji that Luffy's one of the people that could inspire the name the pirate graveyard. And eventually, Sanji actually doesn't want to fight Luffy. He wants to fight Luffy evenly as not friends, but if someone he wants to fight, compare the strength to Luffy's. Luffy said, "Seriously, step outside," and then we see Sanji attack Luffy. He goes for a kick, but Luffy raises his arm so Sanji can land a kick on his ribs, and Luffy isn't even fazed by it. That Luffy grabs Sanji by the leg and throws Sanji, a decent amount away, almost a mile away. Sanji just lands in the water. Well, we see basically the Marines all rush out on Full Body's orders to attack Luffy, but Zeph watches all of them just punched right in the face. Luffy kind of pulls a Star of Platinum on everyone with him just basically just hitting them instantly fast. But the rest don't really know what a Lunarian is. Maybe Zoro at the most, but Luffy basically disabled his flames so he can move a lot faster and just hitting everyone in the face full force at insanely high speeds. This by the time he's done, all of the Marines are all out cold, and we see Luffy holding the Full Body's head and just crushing him. When Full Body yells that he'll leave. They let's go, and they run. So yeah, now with this we see Gin kind of just bring the Don Krieg crew there. Don Krieg demands food, and then he gets the food, then he says he's going to take over the whole building, or the whole ship, and puts a gun at Luffy, saying he'll take his ship, but he fires a gun at Luffy. Well, as the gun's fired at Luffy, the bullet cuts with Luffy's skin, and then it shatters. As the bullet shatters on Luffy's skin, Don Krieg immediately, his jaw drops. Pause. But Don Krieg basically sees the bullet shatter on Luffy, and the fear of God is put into this man. Luffy kind of holds his hand forward, telling Don Krieg that he's a horrible person, that he should die right here. But because there's kids here in the restaurant dining, he won't kill him. Inside. He brings Don Krieg outside into the back of Ratier, and pulls a, he gave Don Krieg the ace treatment. So, yeah. So, Ace got Marine Ford, he gives that to Don Krieg and throws Don Krieg in the ocean. Knocks back around, everyone sees Don Krieg nowhere in sight, and they don't question it, except for Pearl, as he just attacks Luffy. But the moment Pearl lands a hit on Luffy, his one of his shields crack. And then we would see basically just, Luffy just go for a punch on Pearl. Pearl blocks it with his last shield, and then the shield shatters. Luffy grabs Pearl by his arm, breaks it, and just kicks Pearl in the face, knocking him out. Now, with this, we just see most of Don Krieg's crew then being able to attack the Straw Hats. But we see Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Usopp just almost fires like the buggy ball at them, blowing apart most of the men there. Yeah, so Usopp just killed a ton of people with that. A lot of pirates. But Zoro, Sanji, and Nami just finish off the rest of the crew. We see Mihawk arrive, and Zoro fights Mihawk. Zoro's still injured, and Luffy just tells Mihawk, go away. Luffy picks up Zoro. Johnny and Yasuo are still with them, by the way. They're still with them, but they're fully healed. Luffy actually kind of burn some of Zoro's wounds shut. Like, he hates to do this to Zoro, but he does. You know what? Like, he does do it. So yeah. So this Zoro's wound had, like, I guess, what's the word for it? He's cauterizing the wound. Or cauterizing, but yeah. So with this, they're able to treat Zoro's wound. And when Nami does not take the ship, she already deemed Luffy more powerful than Arlong by a long shot. So with this, she brings Luffy over to, meet Arlong, as she tells Luffy about it. So we go on some more, let's see Luffy, who ended up, just at the village. But the thing is, the villagers all see a giant pirate ship and get nervous, till Nami would jump off of it, and they ask the villagers, like, who are these guys? Luffy would probably introduce himself, and they're all on guard. Luffy just says he's here to defeat Arlong. Which makes Gang kind of laughing. Arlong is an almighty, powerful warrior. How could you beat him? And Tsunami's like, turns out just from this pirate tales and just a lot of stuff I learned from Marines, Arlong is nothing more than a bully. If he were to go to the Grand Line, he would die. There's a lot of people stronger than him out there, and the East Blue is the weakest blue. If he's hanging out here taking over a small village, what else could he do? And again, here's that he's like, oh, so we're not even being threatened by pirate. We're being threatened by a bully. That's about it. Luffy would say, so yes, his hand with something sparking the flames. He says that he's going to end up making sushi out of Arlong. Then he winks at Johnny Yosuke and Zoro. And Zoro just pulls out Wano, saying this is all he will need for a scum like Arlong. By the way, Luffy has been training with the whole crew because Usopp is pretty weak currently, and Luffy does know this. Luffy more or less trains not Arlong, but trains Usopp a bit, and then with that, we just see everyone else just train Luffy and Usopp by default. So, yeah. But we go on to more or less just see them break into Arlong Park, or just smash on the door. But Zoro begins fighting Hachi, and Zoro being a bit stronger. Well, first off, he takes down he can't take down all Arlong's crew himself, just not Arlong himself. Which, Zoro's probably on the level of canonical Luffy in Arlong Park. So he's able to somewhat fend off most of Arlong's crew and defeat them all, as Luffy just watches this. When he fights Arlong, as Arlong and him seem to be equals, but Luffy just grabs Arlong by the face and burns him alive and kills him. So, yeah. But all those are shocked at Zoro's strength. Like, only ones that are not shocked at the Straw Hat crew, that's about it. Sanji's still with them. But, so Zoro took down the whole crew with himself, and then Sanji helping him halfway through because he was angry that Nami was impressed with that. But eventually you go to Luffy, who just grabs Arlong by the face and kills him. So, yeah. And with that, we more or less leave to see stress. Well, first off, we see Hachi, who's defeated as well, but Hachi eventually slithers away, or crawls away, then swims away. And with this, we go on to see just everyone leave. The Strats leave after 3 days of partying. Zoro's wounds are treated. Nami gets her tattoo removed. And we just see them go to Loguetown. On Loguetown, they meet Smoker, but Smoker tries to attack Luffy. But Flame is keeping Smoker at bay because it's basically just a fight between fire and smoke. It's a never-ending battle. Luffy can do that at a distance without running out of energy. But eventually Smoker's weapon just grabbed right out of his hand. With that, Smoker eventually gets Luffy, it's grabbed right out of his hand, and then Luffy hits Smoker over the face with it, or the head with it, and it knocks him out. And Zoro versus Tashigi, he wins. First I get to close his eyes and just slash at Tashigi, and is able to get her blade out of her hand. It doesn't knock her out, but it scares her. Then Zoro just grabs her by the head and squeezes, which knocks her out. So, yeah. Zoro then gets Kitetsu and Yubashiri. Johnny and Yosuke are not with them currently, they left. And now we go right over the Grand Line as they leave. Luffy's bounty is a lot higher. So, a lot higher. First off, he sent Kuro's crew packing. He sent, first off, he sent Kuro's crew packing. He killed Don Creed, he killed him. Well, first off, then he beat the shit out of Zeph and Full Body's whole crew. With his right-hand man kicked the shit out of Arlong's crew, then Luffy killed Arlong without any effort. Then he beat the hell out of Smoker. his right hand man beat Tashigi. Sanji beat up random Marines. Like, this is 9 feats of this insanely powerful crew. Then Usopp had a cannon and killed most of the crew. They had that strong of a cannon. So, yeah. But Buggy's crew is not known to the world at this point. Luffy's starting bounty is 60 million. 60. That's his starting bounty. So, pretty powerful bounty, I'd say. I thought they have a grand line. And now, I guess they enter Whiskey Peak. Well, first, Laboom, I'd say that goes the same way. Because Luffy doesn't stab a hole, like massive a ship through Laboon's head. He just punches Laboon insanely hard, sending Laboon flying through the air. And that shocks Crocus because his whole house was flipped upside down. Then when he lands, he was almost covered in stomach acid. He goes out, let's see what's going on, and Luffy says, "Oh, my bad." And yeah. So everything goes the same way after Crocus is done yelling at Luffy. Then eventually he hits Whiskey Peak with Vivi and Mr. 9. The Straws beat the absolute hell out of everyone on Whiskey Peak. But Sanji joined into the training to the point where I'd say he's probably on the level of, like, I put him at a power of... Currently on Whiskey Peak, he's on the level of Alabasta Sanji. Like, everyone on the Gold Crew is, like, on the level of they are in Alabasta. Just Nami doesn't have Climb Attack, and that's about it. So, yeah. And we see Usopp getting a little bit buff right now. Like, he's getting there. He's getting muscle. You can see it. But eventually, when Zoro actually does attack most of the villagers, he defeats them all. Or, it's the assassins. He defeats them all. Then defeat Miss Monday pretty easily. Then with Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine, you see Luffy kick the absolute shit out of Mr. 5 to the point where it almost kills him. Like explosions don't affect Luffy. Like, nothing involving flames or explosions hurt Luffy. Like, flames don't work. Explosions don't work. Like Mr. Hyde did a full power explosion on Luffy's body, and he was unfazed by it. He was only mad about his shirt being ruined, and a little bit of his pants too. But yeah. So Luffy just destroyed him. Then we see Miss Valentine being defeated by Zoro, who just gives her a good old onigiri, which does result in yelling from Sanji later. So yeah, at that they leave, going to fucking Little Garden. All there, so Sanji catch Sea Kings. Luffy just says it doesn't matter who's bigger, he just wants food. Because Luffy eats a lot more than he does. Like, he eats way more. Way more. Bigger body, bigger appetite, a lot more fighting, which makes him want a lot more food. So this man is craving for food constantly. He just doesn't care. He ends the argument right there by yelling, I don't care who's the biggest one, just let me eat the food. So, yeah. And this thing encounters Dory and Broggy, wants to fight them. He fights them, he wins. But he's panting and sweating because they are big, and it took a lot of money. So this we can just go on to more or less just see Mr. 3. First off, when Miss Golden Week paints on Luffy, he's affected by it, and the Sriracha are actually genuinely terrified. But the good thing is, they painted on Luffy's jacket. Luffy currently, he's kind of wearing, he doesn't wear, the traditional red jacket that he does in canon. He kind of wears, a long-sleeve black jacket. So, yeah. That long-sleeve black jacket, he wears that. So Zoro's like, get the jacket off of him. So they go to find out. They try to find some way behind Luffy and take the jacket off. So, yeah. Eventually, Zoro's able to slash Luffy. But when he does so, the blade doesn't affect Luffy in general. But this doesn't mean Luffy just basically say, oh, you want to die? But the jacket suddenly falls off, and Luffy's just like, oh, what happened? We see the whole area in flames, in shambles, and the Strats are just terrified hiding behind a tree with Zoro being nervous about Luffy, but it's like, no, I'm cool. This Golden Week, he basically just burns their paint board. Then with Mr. 3, he just shoots a giant beam of fire at him, almost killing him. But, yeah. So it almost killed him, but initially Luffy just leaves. And Zoro and Sanji cooks Luffy up a good old Sea King. If he eats it, or it was a dinosaur, and Luffy's like, I get to eat dinosaur for the first time, and he leaves. So yeah, but I want to go over something that's really important right now, which is Ace. Ace being an absolute fucking unit. The moment he got the Marinomi and already having attacks down, because Luffy talked to Ace about how he uses fire. So Ace already knew how to use a bit of fire, so a little bit on how to use fire attacks, because Luffy explained it to him, which led to more or less Ace being able to get down a few attacks. So he fought Jinbei and won in the first 3 days. Like, the first 3 days he fought Jinbei, he won. Then Jinbei kept challenging Ace day by day, and Ace won for the rest of the 7 days. Or 2 days. 5 or 10 days, one of the two, but Ace beat Jinbei in 3 days, and the rest of the days, Jinbei wanted to fight Ace, and Ace won in one go. So, yeah. But by the time Whitebeard arrives, he sees Jinbei absolutely beaten up, and Ace is pretty healed. So, yeah. With that, we had Ace just basically fight Namer, the other guy on the crew, and Luffy's able to somewhat, not defeat him, but give him a good fight. So, yeah. But, so eventually we can just go on to something else. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess we can just go on to, like Drum Island. Because Ace is just centered on Whitebeard's crew because he's strong. Then we can move on to Drum Island. That goes the exact same way, but when Luffy has to fight Walpole for the first time, he almost killed him. But then the moment Walpole sees Luffy on near his castle, Walpole gets the fear of God put into him. Like, he is terrified to every to the extreme. Like, he is horrified. And she demands that they all run away. So with that, they all he demands that they leave. So they do just that. They leave because they're terrified of him. So we more or less go on, and we see I'll think about this real quick. Pause. But we used to go on to see I guess Walpole leave the moment Luffy arrives. Luffy just beats the hell out of him. So yeah. Then Luffy tries to curl Marimo attack Luffy, but Chopper kicks the absolute shit out of Chest, and Luffy beats the absolute hell out of Curl Marimo. So with that, Walpole just leaves in fear of Luffy. So yeah. Then with that, Nami's healed, Sanji's healed, they leave. But Chopper comes with them. Now that they had Alabasta, I guess everything can go the same up until the fights. First off, when Crocodile try to stab Luffy, it doesn't work. The first time Crocodile tries to stab Luffy, it doesn't work. Instead of Luffy being injured, Crocodile retreats in fear of his hook being shattered by Luffy's body. Well, not shattered, but cracked by Luffy's body. So Crocodile retreats in fear, and Luffy can't track him, so he just leaves. But, yeah. Yeah, pause more time. I had important notes I needed to take. So, I guess we can just go on to... First, Crocodile retreats from Luffy because he's scared of him. And then everything goes for normal, just Luffy's with the Straw Hats. At least with Zoro. Then eventually go on to more or less see, I guess, the fight between the Straw Hats and their original foes. Usopp and Chopper versus Miss Merry Christmas and... Not Miss Merry Christmas, I mean. I'm pretty sure it's Miss Merry Christmas in the normal translation. Usopp versus Miss Merry Christmas and Mr. 4. So Chopper would fight Miss Merry Christmas. Usopp fights Mr. 4. And Usopp, this one's actually a slight bit physically stronger and faster. He's able to run away a lot faster and actually run through all the baseballs. Eventually, with this sheer momentum he gathered by running from this foe, being Mr. 4, he'll dash right towards him and hit him in the face. Like, you know how swordsmen basically the whole classic, I appear behind you, and then a sword slash appears on your chest. So kind of did that but with a pan, and it hit Mr. 4 in the face as full force. Usopp take a look at his pan, realizing there's a face indent on it. But then he turns around and Mr. 4 is barely even conscious, so he kicks him right in the face, knocking him out officially. Chopper still beats Mr. Merry Christmas the same way he does in canon. It's just Usopp isn't covered in bruises or need a full body cast. And he needs a cast for his arms, and that's about it. But I guess we can go on to just Nami versus Miss Valentine's Day. She's already a lot. Not Valentine's Day. I mean Miss Doublefinger. Nami's already a lot stronger than this specific person by a lot. Only thing is she's not very used to climb attack yet. So physically, in terms of speed, she's able to keep up with Miss Doublefinger pretty well. Even being able to push her back a lot, which is her sheer physical power. But she lets out one lightning attack that completely incinerates her. So not incinerates her, but just gives her a good old beating. And then we would see who was it? It's Zoro versus Mr. 1. Zoro's already on the level that he is, probably Skypiea, probably on that level. So Mr. 1 is pretty much no effort to him. Zoro's able to basically evade every single attack, block it. For a brief moment, he taps into observation hockey when he dodges an attack, and then with that brief bit of observation, he slashes him right across the chest, knocking him out. So he wins. So yeah. So I guess we should move on to I don't know. So we can move on, I guess, just like Luffy versus Crocodile, or Sanji versus Mr. 2, actually. Sanji versus Mr. 2. Sanji fights him, he wins pretty easily, actually. Like, he closes his eyes and just delivers one really strong kick right to his jaw, knocking him out completely. So yeah. There's like one really strong kick to the face, knocks him out. So I guess we can go on to Luffy versus Crocodile now. Luffy Crocodile fight, Luffy just goes his body in water, but he's very nervous about it, because he doesn't know if it'll affect his flames or not. Or even if his flames will destroy the water, and now you can't fight Crocodile properly. But Luffy more or less will actually keep his flames extinguished the whole time, like forcing them to stay like extinguished. We don't know if that is like a thing they have to do naturally, or the thing that they do just because they want to. We don't know if it's like a time limit thing, or just they do it of their own accord. But in this one, they'll do it of their own accord, and Luffy just proceeds to beat the absolute hell out of Crocodile, just with sheer speed and strength. Eventually, Luffy just wins, and yeah. Now he brings Robin onto his crew, and the Crocodile's arrested. Luffy did fight. Also, Luffy did reunite with Ace, but that went the same way. But Ace tried to avoid like just help Luffy get all of the Marines away. Luffy just did like a combined fire fist with Ace, and then they pushed back all the Marines, destroying most of them. So yeah. Also, Luffy gave Ace a bit of different tips on fire-based attacks, and then Ace gave Luffy a bit of advice for fire-based attacks as well. After they leave, and yeah. So Ace is just amazed to see how big this Luffy is. Like Luffy went from like 6'3" when he left to being around like 6'7" now. So he's bigger than Robin now, which is pretty impressive for someone of Luffy's height, or for Luffy's canonical height. So yeah, pause one more time. Ready on. So the Marines arrest Crocodile, then Luffy leaves. So as they leave, well, Luffy's bounty was already at 60 million. But now his bounty moves on to be, let's say 80 million. Actually, no, 90 million. Canonically, his bounty went up by 30 million once he beat Crocodile, so 30 million again. So that's at 90 million. So, Luffy in this one, well, he's at 90 million, then everything goes the same way when he gets to Jaya. This time, Nami doesn't order Luffy to more or less stay calm, or like don't get in any fights. It doesn't really matter. He can take as much damage as he wants. He will not bleed unless you use Haki, which they haven't encountered yet, so Luffy will not take damage for a long-ass time. Which you know, like, cannons and bullets have some effect on Luffy. It's just, he can somewhat increase his durability by will, but it takes, like, a lot of effort and a lot of stamina to do so. It's just he never encountered a foe that required him to use a lot of stamina. Like, Crocodile was his biggest fight yet. If he wanted to fight Mihawk, that would have been his biggest threat, but it wasn't, because he didn't fight Mihawk. And Crocodile was easy work because Luffy put his body in water. Like, the reason he wanted Crocodile to put his body in water, it was just, yeah. But, we just move on to Luffy, who just, comes across Bellamy. Now, against Bellamy, Luffy more or less just, like, when Bellamy means, like, summoning Luffy around, I said Luffy, he can't, like, actually not when he does, when he tries to move Luffy's body. Luffy just seems to be so good in stature that Bellamy can't move Luffy a single inch. If he tried it on Zoro wouldn't move an inch either. So eventually Luffy just told Bellamy he'll kill him if Bellamy touches him or Zoro again. Now immediately, Bellamy asks Luffy who he is. Bellamy's like, I'm Bellamy the Hyena with the 55 million berry bounty. Luffy actually puts the bounty poster on the wall, or like a board in the middle of town, and Bellamy looks at it, seeing Luffy's bounty poster there, 90 million berries. Bellamy immediately begins shooting bricks, and suddenly Luffy just stomps on Bellamy's back, almost killing him immediately. But Bellamy's just down for the count. Like, his body isn't broken, it's just... There's so much force behind Luffy's body that it could have killed someone. But Bellamy shooting attacks Luffy, but then they're all thrown out of the bar or punched through it. So, yeah. But, so I guess we can go on to, like, Luffy, who just, how do I say this? This is like Blackbeard, but has a bad feeling about Blackbeard. Like, as he's walking away from Blackbeard, this so-called Blackbeard, a freak of nature, and, well, just through just sheer skepticism and just a bad vibe about Blackbeard. Well, actually, so Blackbeard just sees his reaction, that Ace is going to hunt Blackbeard down and kill him. Which makes Blackbeard say he'll kill Ace easily. No, Luffy does realize he got the right guy. And this Luffy is slightly dumb. It's just he doesn't know if he when he can and can't win fights. The chance Blackbeard to a fight is just Blackbeard doesn't know he probably cannot beat Luffy as he is right now. Like, he's strong, sure. Beating Luffy, probably not. So yeah. Like, Luffy's powerful as all hell. He is, like, ugh. But, yeah. So this, they have still at Skypiea. But, well, they did a lot more training on their boat, because they kind of upped the ante on it. So with this, they head on, and go up to Skypiea, and, I guess like, the main change is, like, Sanji versus Sanji Usopp versus, fucking Enel first. When Usopp fights Enel deems Usopp a very, very big threat, because Usopp's somewhat able to, like, dodge lightning attacks, even though they're traveling at lightning speeds. But Usopp does, like, occasionally grazed or zapped by them, but a little bit. This does put Usopp's, like running away reflexes at lightning speed. Like, Usopp's cowardly reflexes kick in at lightning speeds. Literally and figuratively. Like he became a coward real fast, but also he has an instinct to dodge all these attacks and run away at lightning speeds. So, yeah. Then we see Sanji using his own attacks against Enel's lightning ones. Sanji's leg, he's able to use double jump at this point. He's stronger than he is at Eni's lobby. He's somewhat able to more kick lightning attacks away, as Sanji and Enel seem to be equals. We have Zoro, who trains the hardest out of all of them, besides Luffy and Usopp, because Usopp's the weakest one in the crew besides Nami, and he wants to be stronger. Plus Chopper also trains a lot, but Chopper defeated all of his opponents like they were nothing. Like, Chopper's quickly just sitting on top of that one guy that had the black jacket and the crazy-ass hair. Chopper's sitting on top of that guy in his buff form, like thinking, was this really one of the stronger guys here? What would you see Luffy just like looking at the Golden City gathering like golden chicks, because he knows that Nami wants it. So, yeah. Well, because we first met Nami, he doesn't know gold was something she wanted. Plus, the Sharks also got a lot of money by just taking Buggy's ship. They already have a few billion berries in total on the ship, because, well, they kind of have a habit of robbing pirate ships. So, like, if they defeat a crew, they rob their ship. So, yeah. Like, the only ship Luffy has not robbed by far, or not by far, but so far, is Alvida's ship. That's the only ship he did not rob. So, yeah. But Bellamy got his pockets ran. Buggy got his pockets ran. Everyone did. Just not Blackbeard. Blackbeard didn't have a ship. He had a small platform. That's about it. Same with Miyako. He had a small platform. That's about it. But we move on to just Luffy versus Enel. Zoro fought Enel himself, just Enel ran away from Sanji because Sanji was too big of a threat for him. We have Zoro who's like the level that he is on I'd say Sabaody. So Zoro's kind of like dashing around Enel, and Enel runs away from Zoro because he's simply just too strong. Because Zoro cannot cut Enel, so Enel's able to evade all the attacks. Until he meets Luffy. Luffy made a rubber and beats the absolute shit out of Enel, like literally he beats the shit out of Enel. Like, Enel will jump at Luffy, and Luffy just gives him whole Bellamy treatment, slamming him down in one punch and knocking him out. And Luffy just smells something horrible, and he just walks away from Enel, who's unconscious, with the fist imprint in his face permanently. So, yeah. Like, the moment Enel wakes up, just crawls onto the maximum, and, like, the maximum goes away. Like he's done. He's done with planet Earth just from that one punch. He's done with it. Then Luffy, when they think the villagers chasing them, Luffy says he wants to fight them, and they're not. Luffy tells the villagers just reveal they want to give them that giant golden pillar. And in response, Luffy takes it, and as they're traveling down to the ground, he melts it down. So yeah, he melts it down, but they're able to somewhat mold it into something. So yeah. So now they have a few 10 billion total of berries for that one giant gold pillar. And then they turn in some of the gold items for money as well. Turn in all the gold items for money. And they have a total, I'd say, of 15 billion berries. So, yeah. But Usopp's jumped by the Frankie family. He's able to somewhat kick them all away or just run away as fast as possible, which leads to him putting the berries on the ship. But as he runs towards the big top, he just jumps up and throws the money on board as yells, "Zoro, help!" But so Usopp and the two Frankie family members chasing him fail to realize that there's some Frankie family members laid out around them. So yeah. But you see Usopp just be pulled up by Zoro, and Zoro just cuts down the two Frankie family members once they get up on the ship. So yeah. But this ship is still significantly damaged, on the outside at least. And it'll take a long time for the ship to be repaired. Like, they have like two options. Either wait months for it to be repaired, or just destroy it. The Straws don't have months for the adventure, so they opt to destroy it. They still have the whole heartfelt crying thing, and yeah. Like, this time, Robin is not fearful of CP9 whatsoever. Like, instead, like, the one CP9 tries to like attract them to her, or attract her to them, like force her to go with them. She says that if they take her captain will kill Lucci. He most definitely will. Instead, she shocks Lucci, saying, "Oh, you think you can kill me?" I was like, he's beaten someone with Rokushiki ability, according to the crew. Like, they use Rokushiki, and he beat him down with one punch. Immediately, the whole CP9's nervous now, because they know not to underestimate Luffy. Because they don't know what Rokushiki it was. They don't know if he mastered it. They don't know if it was just a low tier. Like, there's so many options of this Rokushiki that they don't know what to do about it. The other thing, they basically spawn the Straw Hats, who are basically homeless now. And Usopp still befriends Frankie, but he doesn't know who Frankie is. He knows who he is, just didn't know he led the Frankie family, because he didn't know the name of the gang. But if Frankie and Usopp get along so long, not so long, just so well, he offers to more or less like help Usopp find a ship. They realize who the Straw Hats are. Now he wants to fight Luffy because he's the captain, but Luffy beats the dog shit out of Frankie, just does judo, taekwondo, beats the absolute hell out of Frankie. So yeah, it actually does get the Frankie family, but if Iceberg is going to be attacked, they can't frame it on Luffy. They can't. He's not attacked because Robin is with Luffy, just staying by his side, real close. And if they try to get close to her, Robin just hides on Luffy, like just hides around him, near him, just so they know that Luffy will kill them. Luffy doesn't care too much because not Frankie, but Sanji saw that as like Robin having a crush on Luffy. She doesn't really. She's more or less sees Luffy as like a guardian to her. Well, the whole shot sees Luffy as like a guardian to them. Like he's like he may maybe like the youngest member. Not counting Chopper, he's the second youngest member. But yeah, he is. He's younger than Usopp, I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure Usopp's older than Luffy. Because Usopp was born in April, Luffy was born in May, so Usopp's older. But we just go on to more or less see the Straw Hats, just mainly see Luffy as like their guardian deity. But now we more or less just see Frankie just mending bonds with Luffy as just sees he can't beat Luffy. Luffy's willing to make Frankie a friend if he's actually willing to help them build a ship. Now this time Usopp actually is able to be a part of the shipbuilding process, and he actually learns how to build a ship. They have a lot more days to spare because this is all like day 1.5 of Water 7. Let me show you real quick. You just try to spend like a week or two, like a week and a half on Water 7, but like on the last day is when they fight CP9, because CP9 launched an all-out attack against the Straw Hats. Like they revealed themselves as CP9 members, and then we had a few Marines tag along. Like all the Marines that were on CP9 when the Straw Hats first invaded on the sea train. That's when like all the Marines there attack Water 7, but only at the docks where Straw Hats are. But Luffy like faces down against Lucci. Like Lucci will go all against Luffy to turn you like Roku Ogon on Luffy. The moment it hits Luffy, he's not fazed by it whatsoever. But instead, the moment he's hit by Roku Ogon, he just grabs grabs Lucci by the face with a bit of like blood coming from his mouth. Like a small drop of blood comes from his mouth from Lucci's Roku Ogon, then slams him right on the ground as hard as he can over and over and over again until Lucci's just bleeding rapidly. Then he throws Lucci to the side, then stares down the rest of CP9, offering to take them all on at once if he wants to. And they all have devil fruit. Like during the moment they heard from Robin that like Luffy could beat them all up, at least kill Lucci. Like during the time of the Thousand Sunny being built, they ended up getting the devil fruits and training with the devil fruits. They have Zoro stronger than he is in canon. So like all Strats currently at Water 7 currently, I'd say they're all in the level that they are during Fishman Island or Sabaody. Like those are the two power levels they all have. So yeah. It was more or less to see Usopp like beating the hell out of like his original opponent. I forgot who it was, but I'm pretty sure he teamed up with Zoro and Sanji halfway through. But Usopp and Frankie are the ones that fight Fukuro, the owl guy, or yeah, they fight him. The guy with the zipper fur mouth. I'm pretty sure his name is Fukuro. They fight him. Frankie and Usopp do as a team, and they defeat him pretty easily. We see Chopper fight Kumidori, and Chopper doesn't need Monster Point to beat him, but Monster Point is the one thing they had over him. Like him and Kumidori are tied in full power until Usopp will then reveal Monster Point, absolutely destroying him and most Marines there. But halfway through, he's able to gain control over it. So yeah, his control attack that he uses, like his first control attack, he one-shots Kumidori. We see Nami able to defeat Khalifa in one go. We see Sanji fight Jabra, but Jabra was taken down by one Double Jambe kick, and Sanji can use Double Jambe pretty well. He's trained with it, he's mastered it, or being close to mastering it. So there's one good old kick to the jaw and knocks out Jabra. I don't think he's mastered it, but still, he's trained with Double Jambe a few times, actually. So one good old kick to the face knocks him out. Zoro versus Kaku does not stand a single chance. Like, Zoro is tapping in observation hockey regularly. Like this, and now that's how he avoided all the Nails attacks was observation hockey. He's the only one using observation currently on the crew. He's using it against Kaku, and Kaku cannot land a single hit on Zoro. Eventually, Zoro just used one good old one source out on Nigiri, almost cutting Kaku in half. He doesn't, but Kaku passes it out, just from blood loss. And I think that about wraps it up. The Frankie family and Galileo team up, and they take down most Marines until Luffy just launches one good old fire fist, killing the rest of them. Luffy beat Lucci in one go. Like you just grab Lucci and beat the absolute hell out of him. That's about it. So yeah. Now this we can move on, and we go to the Straw Hats, going to just them leaving. But Water 7, will the Marines do arrive and pick up the corpses or the remains or the knocked out bodies of the CP9 and Marines? But they're more shocked. They say Lucci, he's one of the strongest guys, and he's covered in blood. Barely able to be conscious. Like this man is put in a coma by Luffy in just a few slams, like 5 slams minimum, and he's in a coma. Which I actually coming from Luffy, he's lucky he's not dead. At least it's Luffy. So yeah, but now we go on to Thriller Bark. They meet Brook. That goes the same way. Yes, everything can go the exact same way it does in Water 7. It's just the giant oars-shaped Luffy, or not the oars-shaped Luffy, the giant oars with Luffy's body, he cannot shoot flames. And Luffy's used to shooting flames from his body. So this oars is a complete disadvantage because he can't use flames. So when Luffy actually does wake up, just completely incinerates the body of oars. Like melts it. Like he cremated oars. Then Moria was inside oars and got burned. They got burned as hell. And then we see Luffy recover a while later. So yeah. So I guess since Kuma would be like the main point of this arc, that's the only thing that actually isn't super short. Like the threats being so strong currently cut Thriller Bark in half. Like, Usopp fought Purono with courage. It was just he's always a coward on the inside, so he's not affected by the ghosts. He's able to defeat Purono in one go without being hurt. Sanji doesn't get his shadow stolen at all. It's not Zoro. And Zoro cut down Ryuma like it was nothing, because it was like a Ryuma at Brook's power, and Brook is weak as hell compared to Zoro, so Zoro cut him down in one slash. Then he gets his sword, and this time Shu didn't destroy his sword because there's no Buster Call. Zoro has 3 swords. It was just Iwashiri was cracking because of Ryuma's non-notch slash. Like Zoro thought like Iwashiri was the one to be able to defeat Ryuma, but no, notch slash was too powerful. Destroyed Iwashiri. Then Zoro ended up taking Shusui once Ryuma gave him permission, and now that's how Zoro has the Ryuma has like Shusui. So yeah. Pause. But I guess against Kuma, well, Zoro did give a good slash, almost cutting off Kuma's arm. It was just Kuma was so damn durable that it didn't really go through his body completely. But Luffy reveals he knows who Kuma is, and Kuma is a revolutionary. Kuma didn't recognize Luffy because he was so big. And Luffy still does go by Monkey D. Luffy. Well, not still does. He's known as Monkey D. Luffy now. Because Garp revealed he didn't know, or lied, saying he didn't know who Luffy's mother was, not knowing his mother was a Lunarian, and Luffy didn't seem to be a Lunarian up until Garp began not ignoring, but having to go away for a lot longer. So yeah. But Kuma was shocked to see how strong Luffy was, and we'll just with this simple whole because Luffy is the son of his leader. He leaves, but before he leaves, does tell Luffy that does tell Luffy that Sabo's doing really well and really strong. Before he leaves, he does tell Luffy that Sabo's stronger than Luffy by a lot. Sabo's even using Haki. Luffy just wants to know what Haki is, but Kuma already left. So yeah. So Zoro does not take Luffy's pain, but attack Kuma the most to make sure Luffy didn't get attacked, because it was already obvious Kuma was stronger than Luffy. It was already obvious. So Zoro got his ass kicked in front of Luffy in his place. So yeah. Because Luffy got body slammed, pushed almost all the way to Sabaody. Got pushed halfway across the island and flew back, flew against the whole current. So yeah. But still, Luffy got the hands from Kuma. But then eventually they all head to Sabaody. While there, everything can go the same way. Everything up until the fight against Kizaru goes the same way. Because Luffy, he trained a lot with his wings against Kuma, because his wings were all, he felt like his wings were being torn off when he tried to fly against Kuma's slap. He felt like his wings were being torn apart. Well, he's basically been training his wings, speed, and everything the whole time on the way to Sabaody. He's flying as high as possible, being in the atmosphere flying. He's to the point where if you're flying up in the air at a certain speed, you'll be burning alive. But Luffy isn't burning alive because he's extremely durable. Plus he generates his own flames, so it doesn't really burn him. But as Kizaru's trying to attack Luffy is able to somewhat evade Kizaru at almost the same speed as Kizaru is moving. So Kizaru and Luffy seem to be at equal speed, but not equal power. Kizaru beats the absolute hell out of Luffy if he gets his hands on him. But if you guys are wondering about Sentomaru got the hands from Luffy. With disrespect, he got the hands. So, yeah. But, again, with Kid and Law are more or less terrified of Luffy because of how strong he was shown to be. Also, when he punched Charles, he almost killed Charles with that one punch. Charles is if he doesn't get treatment the next day or two, he will die. So, yeah. That's how strong Luffy's punch was against Charlos. Also showed to be the most powerful of supernovas by obvious. But the one thing that I didn't go over for a while is his bounty, because that's the most important part right now. His bounty, currently, 400 million. When, CP9 told the Marines about how Luffy had beaten most of them and killed most of the Marines with a simple fire blast, he was shown to be that he was superior to Lucci in one go. A Rokugan barely even affected him, to the point where he moved around fine against them. He offered to fight the rest of CP9 after taking a Rokugan and then defeating Lucci. And Lucci even had to reveal that Luffy beat him, there was no problem with it. And, he's also a Lunarian, so that also amped his bounty itself. Also, the black wings and fire revealed he was a Lunarian. So, yeah. But, I guess we can just move on a bit now, but past that. His bounty's surpassing all the supernova. But now we see Luffy more or less fighting against Kizaru, still getting the shit beat out of him. But still, he tries. But I think the fight does realize that if he does not get Kizaru away from the thrust, they will die. Because Kuma and Luffy are fighting as well, and Kuma cannot keep up with Luffy as he's moving as fast as Kizaru now. Eventually, halfway through, once Kuma does arrive, Luffy should just tell thrust if they don't leave right now. Instead, they need to leave. He refuses to let them stay here in this fight. And those threats are kind of nervous to leave without Luffy. Until he then yells out an order from your captain, leave right now. The Zoro's all tear up, leaving Luffy behind as he demanded it. But now it's Luffy and Rayleigh versus Kuma and Kizaru. Rayleigh says he'll take on Kizaru and tells Luffy to fight Kuma. It actually does kind of worry Kuma how fast Luffy does move. But we see Luffy using a new form he had unlocked, being Gear Second. The thing is, his wings kind of turn to rubber as well now. Or not turn to rubber, they are kind of made of rubber. His hair is made of rubber. His wings are genetic, which is rubber. Which can be made of rubber because Luffy's devil fruit. So he's able to use Gear Second all throughout his body, including his wings. And already with his wings and ability, he's able to move as fast as light. Or pretty close to light speed, but now mixes in his Gear Second. The only thing he's lacking is Gear Third. But now, this actually scares the absolute hell out of Kuma, because Kuma cannot track Luffy. And getting the hands of disrespect, like his observation haki is too slow, his hot armor haki isn't fast enough. Kuma's beaten down by Luffy. And Kizaru would see how fast Luffy is, and actually deem Luffy probably the fastest person he's ever met besides him. And Rayleigh eventually would actually, well, first off, Luffy circles Kizaru by just traveling insanely fast. Eventually, Kizaru gets his armor haki almost like, well, he's able to close his chest and armor haki before Luffy connects a punch with him. But that punch, it will send Kizaru flying, and Rayleigh just slams Kizaru into the ground, almost knocking him unconscious. Obviously, with this, Hindomaru would actually grab Kizaru and leave as fast as possible. And the Strats are able to sail a decent ways away, and they arrive at Amazon Lily. Nami and Robin are accepted to just Chopper as well, but Nami is able to convince Boa to let in the rest of them. Those are Straw Hats. It's just they're given a private area. Boa then hears about Luffy and how strong he is, and how he's fighting against Kizaru right now with Rayleigh. And she let them into the town because they're friends with Rayleigh. So, yeah. But eventually we see Luffy just actually approaching the island, and, well, they see Luffy kind of approaching the town, and Luffy basically flowing all the way to Amazon Lily. Eventually he sees bow and arrows, but they're quickly punched away or caught and thrown right back at them at double the speed. Let's try to see Luffy approaching. He's covered in a bit of bruises. And we see Zoro and Usopp, Usopp, all the Strats run down crying at Luffy, like Luffy, you took so long. Because he's been fighting Kizaru with Rayleigh for a few hours. So, yeah. Of this, we basically see all Strats jump on Luffy hugging him. Well, not Frankie and Brook. Like, they can hug Luffy, it's just he's not as big as them, so it'd be pretty weird. Not actually, no, it's weird for the other Strats because he's huge compared to them now. At this point, he grew to Frankie's height, actually. So he don't the same height as Frankie. He grows rapidly. But, yeah. The Strats are kind of hugging Luffy, and they then yell at our captain to make the best ever. We will see all of the Kuja in amazement that Luffy came alive from fighting with Kizaru. Or against Kizaru. But now eventually a few days pass, and we see the Marines more or less sailing to get the Straw Hats. Not get the Straw Hats, to get Boa Hancock to come to Marineford. And now, Luffy actually did get the Straw Hats to be able to coat the ship, it got coated by Rayleigh. Kizaru actually was reported back to Marine HQ as someone who was pretty injured, alongside Charlos. Kizaru got a concussion, that's about it, but... Okay, you heard Kizaru was fighting Luffy. Kizaru revealed that no, Luffy's mainly holding off Kizaru, or trying to just surround him. Kizaru revealed Luffy moved faster than he did. But that would take a lot of energy out of Luffy to do that. But Kizaru revealed the one that beat him was Rayleigh. And now the Marines are not too shocked, but were shocked that Luffy's allied to Rayleigh, able to even move faster than Kizaru. So, yeah. Luffy's 400 million berry bounty, not up to 500 million. So, he's already pretty high up there. So now we go on to more or less just the Enies lobby arc. The Strats, well, first Luffy does actually still blend in with Boa, but it's just, actually no. Let's say the Strats are sailing, their ship is coated to be able to somewhat sail beneath the Marine ship. And, well, he's kind of using most of all things, unintentionally. Zoro did reveal his observation haki to Boa, and Boa taught Zoro how to control it. Luffy revealed he found something similar, so did Usopp. And those three are kind of learning how to use observation. Zoro already learned how to use it from Boa. It's been a few hours and then been a few days. So, yeah. But, yeah. Also, by the way, Sunny's a lot bigger. About as big as a kid's ship, so... they're pretty deep below the ocean. It's just, Luffy just being trained with hockey so much he can let out burst of conquerors, which doesn't scare the Straw Hat. It's just, it scares away all the animals. But now we go to them getting to Impel Down. By the time they arrive at Impel Down, they see a Marine ship leaving, and Luffy does get to the surface with the help of Boa Hancock being able to distract all the Marines. When he gets to the surface, he's able to somewhat sneak into Impel Down. Boa has to wait for Boa to arrive. With that, he's able to somewhat just crouch very uncomfortably with Boa. So, yeah. But then just starts kind of follow the Marine ship as Luffy broke into Impel Down with it by himself. So, yeah. Now with this, we want to go on to see everything else happening once Boa leaves. Once everything goes the same way up until Luffy fight Magellan for the first time. Magellan gets Magellan for the first time, Luffy just basically launches a giant fireball at him, but Magellan holds off with his Hydra attack. So we see Luffy actually says to push his body to beyond its limit. Luffy's body being basically coated with flames. And then let's go to the Coated with Flames. Luffy just carves up a giant ass flaming Kamehameha and sends it right towards, like directly at the chest of Magellan. Magellan tries to tank it, but no, just burns through his clothing and almost burns through his body. But Magellan falls over, his chest pretty badly burnt, and he's unconscious. Luffy used a lot of energy for that attack, but still, he won. And Magellan's hospitalized for the whole Impel Down arc, which leaves no big threats. Even the awakened guards at Impel Down arc just get the shit kicked out of them by Luffy. Like there's nothing holding him back from beating the hell out of them. He needs Ivan and Izuma knowing who they are, and he uses new Kempo to show he's been training a bit, but it's very sloppy, very very sloppy. He hasn't learned it since he was 5 years old, and that's 12 years ago. So yeah. So for the days he was unconscious in canon, he spends that time training with new Kempo with Mr. 2. So yeah, Bone Clay. I guess we can call him Bone Clay. Now with this, they leave, and we go all the way over to them heading to Marineford. But Luffy was cleared the way for them to get out pretty easily. So yeah. Dressrosa had actually arrived at Marineford on the same as Whitebeard as they had stopped a bit because they were attacked by Sea Kings and Zoro had killed it. But Whitebeard saw the ship, actually demanding to know who they were with a loud yell. They were the distraught pirates, and they're basically the crew of Ace's brother. Whitebeard heard that. They asked where Luffy is, and they said he broke into Impel Down to see if Ace was still there, or if if any allies were there as well. Like, just see if Ace was there, because he didn't know the time that Ace was being executed. Whitebeard says that Ace is probably going to die up until they see they hear a loud crash on Impel Down. Not Impel Down, I mean. When they hear a loud crash on the ice that had formed, once they got to the top at least, they heard a loud crash. And eventually smoke had cleared, smoke and ice dust had cleared. They see a giant ship in the middle of the ice, and they see Luffy on top of the ship, with his wings out. They see Luffy kind of smiling, and he's staring right at Kizaru. Like, right at Kizaru. Because Luffy basically picked up the ship and flew away. He picked it up and started flying off. So, yeah. Luffy didn't care. Pick up the ship and fly. That's about it. So, yeah. Also, holding a ship is nothing for Luffy. Like, holding it with one arm is hard, but then holding it with 2 arms is nothing. He can carry 2 boats with 1 arm. Not 1 arm, I mean with 2 arms is pretty easy for him with 2 boats, but still pretty heavy. But kind of just dropped off that 1 boat on the ice of Marineford. And he's on top of the ship, actually telling he's going to get Ace back by himself. But Garp stood in front of Ace, saying, "Try me." Luffy suddenly coated his body in Gear 2nd, with his wings being coated as well. But his wings got most of the attention, which actually did hurt Luffy's wings a lot. But Luffy suddenly disappeared from everyone's sight. And we see Ace the whole platform being torn off the ground and then appearing in front of the ship that crashed into Marineford. We see Ace still being chained up. And Luffy more or less actually demanded Mr. 3 to make a key, because Mr. 3 is still with them. Mr. 3 makes the key, Luffy frees him. And, yeah. So, Mr. 3 frees Ace. And Luffy basically tells Ace to hide behind the ships and heal for a bit. And he does just that. But halfway through the fight, we would hear a loud yell from a certain one man. This one man would be basically an attack from Sabo. From Sabo, he attacks the ground with his Dragon Claw ability. And he slammed it right into a certain marine, being Smokers. He attacked Luffy from nowhere, and Sabo almost killed Smoker with that attack. So yeah, Luffy saw Sabo was there. Ace got back in the battle immediately, and now they teamed up as a group. So Sabo is moving so fast with Haki, he can create flames on his fist, and Ace is using Mera no Mi, and Luffy using his Lunarian abilities. Well, they've been burning down marines like it's nothing, or hitting them flaming attacks. So yeah. Now eventually, halfway through, it actually results in the Marines losing Marineford War when Shanks does arrive. When Shanks arrives, he sees Luffy, and him and Luffy have a heartwarming reunion. Ace is not dead. Whitebeard is dead on the other hand. But when Ace and Teach had fought, well, first Ace was still caught by Teach, but now Ace is fully healed and actually using Haki. He knows how to use all 3 forms, which I don't know why he didn't use it in canon. I guess he didn't think of it fully yet. But Ace using his Haki to his full ability, fights Blackbeard, And Ace essentially avoids all the quick bubbles, but almost kills Blackbeard up until the Marines grab him and pull Ace away or try to fight him. Blackbeard currently still considered a warlord, so they fight him off. They fight Ace off at least. But with this, the Blackbeard crew would leave with Shanks as well. Luffy just invites Shanks onto the ship for a bit, and Shanks and Luffy begin talking. So yeah, Ace is being controlled by Sabo and Luffy though. They eventually all get to Sphinx Island. While there, Whitebeard is buried, and Marco and Ace live there now. So yeah. And they don't plan to pay back war. Ace already got most of the payback by almost killing Blackbeard. It was just the Marines fought him off. And well, they kind of deem fighting a very much weakened Blackbeard as cowardice, so they don't. Well, this Strides end up leaving, and the Strides to leave. Well, Ace tells Luffy goodbye. Sabo tells Luffy goodbye, and also Dragon says hi. Also, the Strides did not fight Garp. Not fight, but they didn't encounter Garp at Water 7. I just realized that I didn't involve Garp there. Most times they would have encountered Garp, they didn't though. Also at Marineford, Luffy and Garp kind of had a slight fist-to-fist combat thing, but Garp was obviously stronger. So yeah, but Luffy actually deemed Garp felt bad about this, saying, "Why can Ace and Sabo become Marines, and why couldn't you live a quiet life?" And Garp actually is blaming himself, obviously, and Luffy can tell Garp that, but Luffy basically tells Garp that don't blame yourself. It's just we want to live the life how we want to, and now Garp cannot determine how they want to live. Even if he wanted them to live a certain way, he could not determine that. Even if they said they wanted to become Marines, but still want to be pirates down, they can lead the Marines to become pirates. Garp could never control their destiny, and Garp should have stopped trying. It was push them towards becoming pirates. They wanted to be free, and Garp kind of began trying to take away that freedom by making them become Marines. So Garp more or less lost mentally and just sat down the whole war, just mentally struggling with what happened. So yeah, but Garp more or less just realized that he is not really that good of a grandfather. So he was a decent one. It was just he wasn't a good person half the time. At least not. Well, he was a good person. He was just wasn't taking a good route about it. He was taking a good route about it. But we move on to this 2-year time skip happening. Luffy trains under Rayleigh and picks up Haki relatively quickly. At least observation. He got it really fast. I put observation probably on Whole Cake Island level observation Haki levels. It is high. His armor Haki got a lot of attention as well because his body was already so strong, and then armor Haki was just too much. It was just overpowered. And yeah. I guess we move on to Conqueror's Haki, which got most of the attention. Armor Haki got a little bit more attention than in canon, but still didn't train as much. If they wanted to train it for a certain amount of time, they do it for a whole day. Conqueror's Haki was 2 days on end, so Conqueror's Haki is a lot stronger than it is in canon. Even Rayleigh will tell Luffy about Conqueror's coding. So yeah. But eventually Luffy would leave, still sporting the same kind of clothes he does in the 2-year time skip. It's more like an open sleeve, an open torso dress shirt, just red. So yeah. I thought he reunites with the Strides, and they speedrun literally everything. They were most of them were already Fishman Island level, but now they're on Dressrosa levels the moment they get to Fishman Island. All of them are. Just Usopp actually knows how to use observation Haki by will. So Usopp's already a lot stronger than he is in canon. He's on Wano levels of power. And then we have Sanji who's Whole Cake Island level. Same with Zoro who's on the verge of Wano level. They're all somewhere between Dressrosa and Wano. Between those levels of power. Pretty big gap, sure, but they're all really strong. Luffy knows about Conqueror's Haki coding and knows about Ryuo. And as you kind of learning how to use Ryuo, just the 2 years end. So yeah. But with this, we more or less see Luffy speedrun everything. He fights Caesar. He wins pretty easily. Then eventually he ends up he speedruns everything up until Dressrosa, where he meets Law and everything. When he meets Law, him and Law fight. Well, first off, Zoro one-shots Pika. The moment they fight, Zoro doesn't even need a basic onigiri to defeat Pika. He can use a one-sword style onigiri and cut Pika and clean in half. So Because defeated pretty easily and in just a few minutes, like 10 minutes tops. We would have Bartolomeo mainly sees Luffy as a god still, just the god of fire. And Luffy's bounty currently, after speedrunning basically everything, and so damn easy, his bounty currently is at 800 million. 800 million. He's on the verge of 1 billion, but by the time Dressrosa ends, he's going to be at 1 billion. So, like, he'll be considered a Yonko, maybe. But the main fight would be Luffy versus Doflamingo. Doflamingo awakens Delver, and Luffy begins just tuning into his fire abilities even more. Like as Doflamingo's like, my Delver awakened. He's like, my fire is reaching a new peak. Luffy dashes around with his body coated in flames and in Gear Second. And by this Luffy's so damn durable, Gear Second basically takes no effect on his body currently after 2 years of training. Like basically no effect on his body whatsoever. But Luffy's body being so strong, he eventually would fight Doflamingo, and they're on even terms, without Luffy using Gear 3rd or 4th, which he can use Gear 3rd. He used it previously in this arc, it just did little to nothing against Doflamingo using Haki. But, yeah. But eventually Luffy just coats his giant, uses Gear 3rd, while it's coated in Gear 2nd as well, which actually does take a toll on his body, it's a big one. It will disable his left arm for a day, which is, I'm going to say it's using his left arm. But if his arm's going to be out for a whole day after this, holds it down using a bit of flames, Haki, Gear 2nd and 3rd, in one arm, and slams it down to Doflamingo, knocking him out, and almost killing him. Law would watch this giant display of power, as even the flames begin burning away the birdcage. But as soon as Doflamingo sent flying through the castle and the mountain, Luffy was announced the winner of the fight, and someone stronger than Doflamingo. Now with this, Luffy and everyone else would leave after the same amount of time. It's just Doflamingo's arrested. Then Luffy ends up talking to Fujitora, and him and Fujitora get along fantastically. Luffy calmed down with violence a lot with Rayleigh. He more or less learned how to have a peaceful life without violence. Like, he found out how to have fun without violence, and found out how to just enjoy things without violence, and like he did that with his crew. It was just a lot of his happiness came from violence, which Luffy had to learn to live without. Luffy's in at a very peaceful state of mind. He's kind of like Rayleigh currently, a lot like him. So Luffy and Fujitora talk for a bit. They get along fantastically. Even with Sengoku, he got along fantastically. Luffy overheard the whole thing with Koda Zone, and Luffy actually did give his condolences to Law, and told Law to even thank Sengoku for raising Koda Zone. So yeah. Actually, before he leaves, just say he wants to be friends with Sengoku and Fujitora when his goal is accomplished, or at least be somewhat considered someone who was not a bad person by those two, which they actually do consider him a good person. It's just he's going about the wrong life choice. They share a drink. So that's about it. Let's Luffy and the Straw Hats leave, and yeah. Next arc, Zo. Well, against Jack's crew, the moment they get onto Zo, they win pretty fast. But by the way, they still find Momonosuke who's with them, and Kinemon as well, plus Kanjuro. And, yeah. This half of the grand... Well, this part of... It's the time skip part. Nothing important would go on here at all. Nothing important going on. It's just, if there's an important moment, and, if it's emotional importance, then sure, we spend time on that. But if it's only physical importance, nothing important happened. Luffy's so damn strong, it doesn't really matter what you do. He's just going to be a damn beast. Luffy currently is, probably Katakuri probably on par with Katakuri. And he's in Dressrosa. He's on Zo right now. He's on par with Katakuri. Then we see the Little Cake Island, and Sanji, well, first off, he already headed to Zo, it's just he left a bit. He left still, he still left. But as he's leaving Beijing, he just basically tell them, be fast, or else Luffy will kill you and everyone on the ship. He will die for this crew, or kill for this crew. And Beijing already fears Luffy more than God at half the time, so. On Alabasta, not Alabasta, I mean, on Sabaody, he was keeping on Kizaru, everyone saw this. And Beijing fears Luffy because he thinks of Luffy as an admiral level foe. He isn't, but he's really strong. But now we move on to just, well, first off, Whole Cake Island. Sanji begins kicking hell out of Luffy. Well, Luffy's not being affected by this whatsoever. Eventually, he just grabs Sanji's leg and throws him right through the carriage. and Sanji's siblings attack Luffy, but they see they have no effect on Luffy either. Judge even is joining in, Luffy is not being affected by it. Instead, he walks over to Sanji, telling Sanji to leave his family behind, and that he has a new one that's even better than his old one. Sanji's kind of nervous because, well, the Big Mom threatened to kill Zeph. Luffy says about this. They defeat Big Mom and all of her kids together, and they can even defeat Germa if they want to. Sanji then says that they should defeat Germa first, and Sanji's crying and saying that, defeating Sanji high five, and Luffy turns over to Sanji's siblings. Sanji then uses Yabashamba, kicking the absolute hell out of Yonji, then Ichiji, then Niji, and then Judge. I was shocked to see Sanji one-shot them each, but we move on to, I guess we can move on to Luffy and the Big Mom's kids versus Luffy, and Sanji and Nami. Nami would use her abilities fighting off most of them. By the way, against Cracker, he got one shot by Luffy. Luffy's able to just basically breeze through all of the Crackers one by one without gear force at all. He didn't need it against these kids. Not against the kids, against the Cracker soldiers. He needed Base Worm to destroy them in one go. So, it was pretty easy. Now, Cracker's here to fight Luffy again. Luffy just burned him alive, but then he was healed back a bit, so, yeah. But now, Luffy, Sanji, and Nami versus Big Mom and her kids. Well, not Big Mom, but her kids. Luffy took down most of them single-handedly. Sanji and Nami took down a few themselves, but Luffy did most of the work without getting scratched even a bit. Even using Haki, they can't harm him. But now with this, we can go to Luffy versus Katakuri. Sanji and Big Mom are fighting, and Sanji's kind of like Wano level currently. He even got the raid suit as Judge and his family left. So yeah, Sanji's using his raid suit against Big Mom. Then Nami's fighting off Big Mom, fighting against Big Mom as well. So yeah, Luffy versus Katakuri. Luffy had been training his observation Haki even before Whole Cake Island, and when he left Rayleigh's training, he was already in the level that he is with observation on Whole Cake Island. Pause. Also, observation Haki is already top tier, and I was even advancing in fight with Katakuri to the point where he reaches Katakuri levels of observation. Him and Katakuri are on the same playing field with observation. Then Luffy's already on the verge of unlocking Ryuo, and the way he sees Katakuri, one good old Snake Man form, and then one good old punch with Ryuo right to the jaw, knocking him out. He still used Snake Man, but he was testing out a new form he had unlocked, and that was Snake Man. He unlocked all training on Zoro. Just wanted to test out Katakuri. Katakuri was used as a damn guinea pig again for Luffy. And Luffy one-shot him with Snake Man as he had used Ryuo for the first time. With that, Katakuri's defeated, and yeah. Now with this, Luffy would leave, and Rayleigh announced that Katakuri was knocked out. With that, the Strats not Strats, but I guess the Big Mom family kind of feared the Strats, or mainly Luffy, with fear of God. But on Luffy and Big Mom fight, Luffy's not even tired. Katakuri and him were basically equals. It was just Snake Man that got him outmatched. Big Mom actually offers Luffy to basically leave the Strats behind and join Whole Cake Island so they can have Lunarians. Luffy says no. His goal currently is to become King of the Pirates and meet King. Well, he wants to meet King a lot because Shanks told Luffy who King was when he was a young kid. So meeting King is like one of his top priorities, just to meet a full-blooded Lunarian. So yeah. But I guess we move on to just them leaving Whole Cake Island. Luffy already being so strong and beating the Flamingo, his bounty was already at 1 billion. But then when he leaves Whole Cake Island, well, his bounty jumped up to 1.9 billion. So yeah. Actually, I'll give Luffy the honor of 2 billion. I'll give him that honor. Actually, just to be even more fun, he is on par, in bounty level at least, with Blackbeard. Him and Blackbeard have the same bounty. So yeah, I'll say that. So 2.2 billion. Well, first off, he beat Katakuri. Katakuri didn't submit or just fall over to him being tired. Luffy quite literally beat Katakuri. First beat the shit out of Doflamingo. Went to Quick Island, beat the shit out of most of Big Mom's kids. Not getting captured at all. Jinbei still did help him, because Jinbei still did arrive. But there's to the point where Big Mom couldn't even chase him out of Whole Cake Island. They left of their own accord and left safely. That is what they did. They left safely. So, yeah. So Jinbei's with them all the way up until they get to Wano. they can speedrun every little thing they do up until Luffy versus Kaido the first time. Luffy versus Kaido the first time. Well, Luffy versus Kaido the first time. Well, Kaido does use Boro breath. It's just, we have a Sanji who's a lot stronger than he is in canon. Like, I put him at, highest tier we can give him. Like, imagine a 1.5 multiplier from current Sanji in the manga. He's like that. Sanji basically stands in front of all the tribes, and takes the blast full on and awakens his cyborg abilities. Like, he does that. So he tanks the blast, being unfazed by it. The thing is that Sanji just has very burned clothing. We see Luffy fighting Kaido. Eventually joining after Sanji recovers. And Sanji does recover, and they're able to somewhat push back Kaido, but he eventually retreats due to Luffy actually being able to damage him to a certain degree. And so we move on to go see Luffy versus King, but only a while later, because King had arrived to fight Luffy in that war downtown. I forgot the name of the town, but they were there. By the way, Yasuo isn't killed, by the way. He's not killed. But, Zoro will not allow that to happen. This man is moving fast to make sure it doesn't happen. So, yeah. And if it was going to happen, Luffy saves him. But, yeah. Now Luffy versus King, officially. Luffy has been using Ryuo properly, and is now learning how to use Conqueror's coding. He knows what it is. Luffy and King begin boxing, and Luffy's already obviously stronger than King. Obviously stronger than King. But Luffy eventually would use Gear Second, slamming into King's back with an elbow cut in hockey, and knock him out. So yeah, he realized that King was pretty strong, much stronger than him. But now we go on to see Luffy versus Kaido. The final time, with Yamato as his ally. So with this, we see Luffy end up fighting against Kaido with Yamato, Kid and Law by his side. This is the source still in Wano. But Luffy staged a prison breakout to free Kid and Killer. Killer is not a smile user at this point. Because he never was a smile user. He was kind of just... He didn't need a smile that was effective. So yes, everything kind of goes the same way. It's just Luffy just staged a prison breakout, and that's about it. That's the difference. And Kaido didn't beat Luffy the first time. So, yeah. Kaido never beat Luffy. Luffy just staged a prison breakout. Those are the two biggest things that change. But now we go on to Onigashima. We go to that raid. And I guess we can go on to Kid, Yamato, Law, and Luffy versus Kaido. Zoro's fighting not Killer. He's fighting Zoro's fighting King currently with Killer by his side. Killer got released. Around the time that Luffy would originally be put in Udon, he staged a breakout. So Kid and Killer got a lot of training with Haki, same with Law. Zoro also got Enema a lot earlier. It's actually being able to get used to Enema. By the time he fights King, he already mastered Enema, so he's already able to beat King pretty easily. Plus, Luffy had told Zoro how to beat a regular Lunarian. He knows how to beat a Lunarian, because Luffy is a Lunarian. So yeah. And eventually we more or less see Luffy, who would end up, I'd say, just... You can just see Luffy basically obliterating Kaido with these Haki users by his side. Zoro and Killer beat King pretty fast. Sanji defeats Queen in one go. Quite literally just in 10 minutes tops, Sanji beats Queen. Then Zoro in 5 minutes with Killer defeats defeats King. So Queen and King are done already. Then we see see Luffy and the other four. What was it? I don't know. But everyone else just defeats everyone. So everyone else just fights and they win, so to say. But they eventually just keep on fighting. They keep on fighting the Dragon Man, and they do win actually because it's plot, but also just because they can. And Big Mom was fighting against Usopp and Nami for a bit. But then Monster Point Chopper joined in, eventually would lead to Bone Clay. I'm kidding, no. I forgot that I didn't have Bone Clay join. I wanted him to join. I heard to say it. let's come sneak that in there, but I can't. I realize that, so fuck it. One Clay's not here. But Nami, and Usopp. Sanji's already done with full energy, so he helps them fight. Same as Zoro and Killer. So, like, the only Trout that isn't helping fight Big Mom is Luffy. That's the only Trout that's not helping. Chopper cured Ice Oni. There's nothing else important to go over besides the fight with Kaido, and Luffy wins pretty easily at that with everyone by his side who can almost use Ryuo. So, yeah. So, everything we kind of speed ran the other half of the 2-year time skip. They're already too strong for the time skip. So, we move on to Luffy versus... I guess the next important thing would probably be like Elbaf, and they explored Elbaf. But, we'll kind of not permanently pause, but put like probably like a 2 years tops pause in this what if. We can revisit this when I'm like 17 or 18, because this one One Piece will be out of Wano. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this movie, we can then begin to go into like the climax, or the close to climax. Then next part will be climax. Then the next part will be the end. The third part will be the end of this series, or second part. Who knows? Goodbye.